Now I will be explaining on the background studies for retirement. It is critical for a person to plan for retirement. Retirement is defined as the discontinuation of one's regular occupation, and it is usually connected with an old age. This is due to the fact that we would generally wish to live a decent standard of life during retirement. The EPF, Employee Provident Fund, is an excellent source of retirement income in Malaysia. Due to the high EPF contribution rates and too little or no tax incentives, private pensions are uncommon in the country.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is FIN533 and I will be presenting about the purpose of retirement planning. As you know, retirement planning determines retirement income goals and the action and the decision necessary to achieve those goals. Retirement planning includes identifying sources of income, sizing up expenses, implementing a saving program, and managing asset and risk. The purpose of the retirement planning is retirement planning start with thinking about your retirement goals and how long you have to meet them. Then you need to look at the types of retirement accounts that can help you raise the money to fund your future. As you save the money, you have to invest in to enable it to grow.
Next is the importance of the retirement planning. To begin with, the prospect of being forced into the early retirement will be less terrible if you have the plan. If you aim to retire at the age of 55, it will be great, but if you're forced to be out of the force, it is not. Over half of the current retirees aren't doing so voluntarily, which is very sad. Secondly, it is unfair to rely on your family for financial assistance. If you don't think about your family future, you may not appreciate how important retirement planning is. After that, your children will be accountable for your well-being. When you retire, you should not even depend on anyone, at least all of your member family. Third, it's critical to recognize that you may have financial difficulty in the future. People are frequently optimistic about their financial future, live in the hope that things will be improved in the year ahead, but this is not certainty. Your future is uncertain, which is why retirement planning is critical, and after you make a plan, you may stick to it. Lastly, your retirement can benefit your family. Your ideal retirement may even include a charitable contribution to your family. If you have a sizable money to withdraw from, you can treat your family with a variety of gifts, and you can even plan for the vacation and so on.
Okay, I will continue the presentation about the retirement issue. Okay, the first issue is low EPF and pension for retirement. As we know, when people reach the retirement age, they will no longer have a source of main income to support their daily life. Most of them maintaining their lifestyle by using their EPF and pension that they have saved during their work time. People with low EPF and pension will face few difficulty to maintaining their lifestyle after retirement. This is because most of them after retirement are struggling to support their monthly expenses with only by using their EPF saving. Some of them also did not finish their debt after reaching the retirement age. For example, credit card and car loans. This also may resulted them to get high monthly cost expenses to cover up. Okay, the second issue is COVID-19 affect saving and plan for future retirement. Since COVID-19 occurred in 2019, there are few people that has been dismissed from their workplace due to economic problem of their company. This will making them to face a huge problem to maintaining their daily lifestyle, as they no longer have no income at the time. Their future retirement also will be affected, such as EPF and pension, since they have no longer income at the time. During COVID-19, the method of work from home has been implemented. Therefore, there are few people has faced the reduction of salary and allowance since they didn't need to come at their workplace, and few production of work are interrupted due to COVID-19. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Now I'll be explaining on the statistical information for retirement. Malaysia's government have declared that employees in Malaysia have a strong desire to raise the retirement age. Due to the government's intention to retain experienced public officials in order to contribute more human capital to national performance, the retirement age might be set at 60, but as people get older, the continuous work becomes unappealing. Next is the Malaysians' current retirement planning strategies rely heavily on savings, employee provident funds, EPF and children. Relying on savings, EPF and children is not enough, especially for those who have low income. Around 72% of Malaysians have a solid plan for their retirement and 41% does not have any solid plan for their retirement. Besides, EPF income may appear appropriate in the long run, but it will never be implemented. Additionally, hiring maids to care for the elderly parents will increase the living costs indirectly. As a result, there is a strong likelihood that some elderly parents will spend the rest of their lives in an old people's home. Furthermore, for the Malaysia's inflation rate rise to 5.4% in 2008 and up to 0.6% in 2009. Due to the high inflation, it can cause ringgit devaluation and rise in the cost of living over the time. Lastly is increase in medical prices and services are expected to affect seniors' purchasing power and the quality of their lives over time. This affects people's financial, and if this continues, it may develop a preferences for living in poverty.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Khairiduan Demazli. I will present about recommendation. For the retirement planning, my first point is about start early in financial planning. About financial planning, it is good to teach young generation early in managing the financial. The idea is we develop financial planning curriculum for high school and college. Next, develop education campaign in financial planning. Government and NGO can contribute develop the education campaign. The better form of it is the campaign include different message target at different groups. And my last point is about public pension plan. Introduce public pension plan in Malaysia. Public pension plan is the social security plan administered by central, state or local government as well as other public sector bodies.
Now I will be explaining on the background of taxation planning. Taxable income is also known as income tax. Individual incomes comes from work, interest, dividend, renting or other sources. In Malaysia, individual incomes are taxed once a year. All Malaysians employees earn more than 25,501 ringgit annually after EPF must file their yearly tax.
So, the definition for tax planning is quite simple. It is analysis one's financial situation from the tax efficiency point of view. Tax planning is the process used by the individual, and businesses to structure their affairs to legally reduce their tax liability and make saving. So the purpose of tax planning is a focal part of financial planning. It's assure savings on taxes while simultaneously conforming to the legal obligation and requirements of the Income Tax Act 1961. The primary concept of tax planning is to save money and mitigate one's tax burden. However, this is not on its sole objective.
The importance of the tax planning is that it allows people to lower their taxes through strategic tax planning and management. Tax planning is focused on decreasing one tax liability. Paying minimal taxes minimize an individual or the business bill expenses. Next, tax planning allows you to strategize and maximize the benefit. Frequently, individuals wait until the last minute to try to claim a tax reduction. After that, we also can benefit from the tax planning since we are all aware that Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri (LHDN) change tax law frequently. Tax planning enables us to cope with this change, whether it's light or big, by making the decision or dealing with them in the light of the tax implication. Lastly, tax planning may result in flexibility in tax payment. Proper tax planning provides individuals and businesses a more flexible approach to paying taxes. Flexibility in the tax payment reduces the impact on the personal or company finances.
I will continue the presentation about the taxation issue that occur in Malaysia. Okay, the first tax issue is falsification data in declaration form. Falsification data means that they did not fully state about their income statement during filling the declaration form. This issue has frequently occurred for the past few years and create problem for the staff to calculate the amount of income tax that they need to be charged toward the person. Most of these people are trying to avoid to be charged with high income tax. This kind of people does not apply the concept of responsibility toward the government rules. Most people that involved with this case is the people that has another side income, for example, side business, rental house and part-time job. They did not cooperate with the government rules provided. Each income should be stated in the declaration form so that there will be no issue between parties. This case will be more complicated if the person did not tolerate with the government rules and may result them with fines and imprisonment. Okay, second issue is failure to settle down the payment of income tax. This group of people are facing the financial problem to settle their income tax at the end of the year. Most of them did not plan or unwell organized about their financial. These cases also frequently occur since they did not have any saving or plan of their monthly income. Unorganized financial may affect all the necessary payment in the year. B40 group and below are the most group that face the problem to settle down their income tax at the end of the year. Since the outbreak of COVID-19 in 2019, people that involved with COVID-19 also face the same issue to settle down their payment. This is because they need to be quarantined in specific place to get well. This also will affect their financial due to the quarantine and their salary also may be reduced. Okay, I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
For the statistical information for tax, the number of taxpayers who failed to pay their taxes in 2018 and 2019 has increased. In 2018, according to Datuk Seri Sabin Samita, Chief Executive Officer of Inland Revenue Board (IRB), about 80,000 taxpayers have failed to pay their taxes. This includes individuals, companies, and organizations with large amount of property and have failed to register their assets. However, in the first 8 months of 2019, almost 490,000 taxpayers revealed unpaid tax. Next is in the early January of 2019, IRB Chief Executive Officer Datuk Seri Sabin Samita set a goal of attracting at least 1 million taxpayers and collecting RM10 billion in taxes. Lastly is the federal government income is expected to drop by 14% to RM 227.3 billion in 2020. The individual income tax revenue is expected to drop by 4% in RM 35.9 billion, down from RM 37.4 billion in the initial forecast. Due to the COVID-19, which has affected the country's economy and has caused unemployment, salary reduction, and unpaid leave offered by employers because to preserve the company's continuity.
My first point regarding taxation planning is make more simplified laws and simplified system. Actually, I don't understand why and how did others evade from paying taxes. I get it if it is caused from underground economy, but can we see it is normal and easy to evade the tax. So, the problem is there's a loophole in the laws and system. To prevent from this issue, we need a brand new type of laws and system that is more simplified and easy to understand. My next point is about design well-organized tax administration structure. It is kind of hassle to get information regarding the tax, and there is many type of tax but we need to check from different websites. Can't we just centralize all of the tax in just one organization? It can help in managing timing and it will be easier and well organized. My next point is about providing tax relief to the lower income family. Government need to play a big role in provide more relief to the lower income family. As we can see, COVID-19 and MCO really affect our daily life. People lost their job and price for all basic necessities skyrocket. My next point is about the laws. Tax penalty between 1,000 to 20,000 or imprisonment not more than 3 years is just a piece of cake for them. Can we just be more aggressive in implying the penalty? Sometimes people need to be scared to be obediently follow the rules.